Welcome to All Things Whitetail. Today we're putting up a tree stand. We use nothing but climbing sticks here at our property. So I'm going to walk through a few things that I do personally. I'm not suggesting that everybody do this. I just want to illustrate this is kind of my process and how I protect myself from falls. Falls is one of the leading causes of injuries associated with deer hunting each year. And I always hear about people falling, and it kind of saddens me because it's a very easy thing to prevent from happening. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the full body harness that I use and the rope system that I use to provide 100% fall protection from when I leave the ground. This is a rope that I make myself. It's a climbing rope that I buy. This is a pretty heavy duty rope. It has a strength of about, I think, 9,000 pounds of force it can withstand. And what I do is, it's 7/16 inch. What I do is I cut off about 30 feet of this and tie a nice loop around the end and a nice slip knot here, and then I run that around the top of the tree where my anchor point's going to be, run it through, and then I've basically got this wrapped around the tree, and I'm able to safely tie off. This is what's called a Prusik knot. It slides up and down, so as I'm going up and down I can slide it with me, and then I put the full body harness, I attach the carabiner to this. So as I'm going up and down the tree, I'm constantly tied off. I will have my rope tied directly over the stand so that it gives, if I do fall, I can easily self-rescue and grab a hold of the ladder and climb up safely. From the full body harness, I use a muddy. There's a lot of different styles out there, but I really like the muddy. When I'm putting up stands, I will use a lineman's belt so that I'm safely tied off until I get to the top, and then I will hang my rope once I get up there. But again, the whole purpose of this is to have fall protection 100% of the time. So as soon as my feet leave the ground, I'm good to go. This is a nice little device. It's called a hunter's hoist, and I've used this same one for years to raise and lower my equipment with me, and I use it when I'm hanging stands also. So these are just a few little of the tricks that I've developed over the past several years. And your full body harness needs to be tight. If it's not tight and you suffer a fall, then the force of the fall will not be distributed through the harness the way it's supposed to be. That's the whole purpose of it. I like a harness that has a belt across the midsection here. That's just my personal preference, but it seems to work well for me. So we're going to go ahead and videotape some more on what we're doing to put the stand up. And if you got any questions, just let me know. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so here's my lineman's belt. We're here at the tree. I've already got one section on, and the next step is up and ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and swing my harness around and get everything connected for the lineman's belt. These are very easy to operate and very safe. This one has a nice buckle so you can pull on it to loosen it. But then when you tighten it up, you're kind of locked in, so you're good to go. So now that I'm up, I'm in a nice saddle position here. I got this step ready. I'm able to reach around with the strap. I like to make sure that I don't have that it's nice and smooth. I don't have any twist in the strap, if at all possible. Run it up, and then I'm ready to go. Make sure everything's level all the way across. There'll be a little bit of slack. Just got to tighten up, and I'm able to go up. So once I get a little bit higher, I snug it again. It's got to be up tight against the tree, otherwise as you climb up it, and particularly when you're out in the woods, or we're obviously in the woods, when you're going for a hunt, you want it to be as quiet as possible. So if this is not secure, every time you step it could squeak, so it's got to be secure. Okay, so I'm ready for the next section. Emily's handed me one. Just set it in place. And again, I'm able to pass it around and move it right on up the tree. Right on up the tree. You can see I've had some old steps in here. I'd used some pegs in the past, so I've used this tree before. That's a pretty good system, but I've kind of gotten away from it with just the ease of the climbing sticks. So that gives you a little bit more versatility when you drill and put in those bolts, those bolt steps. That's not a bad process. A lot of guys do it. I just prefer not to. So this is an old tree that I had that system set up in. And we're just going to utilize it again. We created our watering hole. It's right over there. Not even 20 yards from where we're at. And then I'll clear out a little bit of this area here just to get some good shooting lanes a little bit later on. But I think this tree is going to be a pretty good spot this season. Zoom in too. Okay, we're making our way up. I've got my tree saw here. I like the Heumann tree saw. It works pretty well. I'm able to hang it from my back strap and D-ring carabiner. Then that way, as I move up, if I need to use the saw for any reason, then I've got it right at my hand. So I can take it off easily. And then I can cut this limb real quick. Zip that off there. A couple more. That's these I can pull off, and I've got clear sailing. We're ready for our last section. And then we're going to be ready to hang our strap and hang the stand and figure out where we need to clear our shooting lanes. Okay, I'm going to lower this to you. Go ahead and leave it on.
Okay.
You can do this all by yourself, but it helps to have a buddy. And Emmy's my videographer today, and she's also my assistant to help what we would call ground support, support from the ground. So she's tying that on there. Okay, step back, honey. Strap's already on it. I can safely pull it up. This is probably the handiest tool that I've got in my bag that I carry with me, is this hunting hoist. I don't hit the woods without it. It is that critical to me getting my gear up and down the tree and not having to make a bunch of climbs up and down. When you're getting into the woods, you want to be as quiet as possible, and the deer don't need to know you're getting in and out. You want to make as little noise as possible. Don't clang any metal against anything. So every movement is very slow and precise. So I'll move on up the tree. Again, I cannot stress the importance of 100% fall protection from the time your foot leaves the ground. You should be tied off all the time. This is really the perfect size tree right now. This tree, it's probably 12 to 16 inches in diameter up at this point. And this is what I want. I want to have, so these tree steps, or excuse me, these climbing sticks fit right into them, into the groove, and bite real tight once I pull on the strap and tighten it. Again, I don't want any twist in my straps, so it's nice and secure. about there. Okay. So this is the last section. Okay, Emmy, go ahead and grab the rope. Did you leave it on?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to bring up the climbing rope. I'm going to go ahead and loop it up around and tie it off. And then just tie it around one of the loops. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. There we go. So I have my strap for my stand already attached to this. So I can start that process and hang the strap. And then as soon as you get up to the height, you want to add that. You want to go ahead and put the climbing rope on, so that you've got that other fall. This is a little bit, from a fall protection perspective, it gives us just a little bit more comfort when we're tied off with the rope. Okay, so for this stage, now I can take this off. Normally I wouldn't have a place to hang all this equipment, but because I'd used these bolts as steps previously, you got a nice hanger there for the tree saw. So now I can, my back D-ring, now I'm strapped off. If I fall, I'm actually tied off in two different places. So this is ideal setup right now. You're not going to fall at this point. Okay, I use Lone Wolf stands. I like them because they're light. I like their durability. They're very quiet. I just like the whole design of the system. Let's see. So I'm probably going to hang it about right here. So I've at least got a handheld to go up higher. These are the same way. I make sure that there aren't any twists all the way around the tree, so everything is nice and tight. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the stand. Again, my anchor points directly above. You can see the rope hangs all the way down the ladder. So if I fall and I'm hanging here, I can reach right over and I can grab the ladder, nice and safe. If I hung it on the other side and I were to fall on the opposite side of the stand, there's no way I can get back to reach the steps here. Tell you what, Em. Nope, go ahead and do that. Okay, hold on to it just for a second. I'm going to move this stuff around a little bit.
Is it going to be strong enough?
Oh yeah. Okay. Question is, will I be strong enough? Let go. Now I've got to make sure my bottom strap. I've heard of some guys that hang these and they don't use the bottom strap. That just scares me. I don't think it's as stable when you do that. And with everything going on, the last thing you want to do in the back of your mind is worry about if your stand is stable. So make sure my rope. Now, there are times I do that. Put the stand on with the rope here, so I got to pull this on through. This is also good practice for when hunting season starts. You've worked out all the kinks and bugs on your process. Now, I've got my attachment up here. It's kind of hard to see with the stand. Now I can take my lineman's belt off, and I've still got 100% fall protection here. Now I'll move this up because I've got more slack now. You want the anchor point directly above you, not to the side of you. So it needs to be above. So you got to move it up. I'll end up cutting this limb off here. So I probably should adjust the platform angle a little bit. So now I get my first bird's eye view of where I need shooting lanes. And I need to get the chainsaw out and cut a few limbs here and there. Maybe even take out a few trees so that I can create a good area here where I've got multiple lanes. You want to have a lot of cover, but you also want to be able to have it so that you can make the shot when you need to. And I've got some work to do before we do that. And that's why putting up stands, it's not quick and easy. It takes some time and some planning, and you got to bring the right tools with you. So that's it for today as far as tree stand safety and setting a tree stand. Hope you guys got some ideas from me. If you got any questions, let me know. Keep following our blog at allthingswhitetail.com, and we appreciate your time.
Off.